The first bell is at 4:30 a.m. The second is at 4:35, the late bell. If you're not in class by then, you'll gently receive some corporal punishment. The third bell is at 4:36, the late bell. If you're still not present, your corpse will receive corporal punishment. Then there's a loud crash and a boom at 4:37, just for fun. There was a bell before all these too, around 3:55 a.m. that plays through a mandatory school smartphone app that wakes you up, but it never works. Bells like this ding every 5 minutes for the entire day, and for each ding you must promptly drop whatever you're doing and sprint as fast as you possibly can to the next class. Last one there is a rotten egg, and their rotten grade cracks in half. Forget taking 7 to 8 classes or even 10 or 12 at once. How about an extended laundry list of 50 to 100 classes a day, boring you to death on every last bit of society? Nothing is safe. Pigeons, a sleep-inducing class on them. Running a hairdryer, a mind-numbing class for that. A full-on demanding class with presentations, projects, quizzes, tests, attendance and participation for washing your feet. More classes for gardening, for cleaning, for sleeping, for walking, for talking, for taxes. A class hammering away into all the detailed legal minutiae of taxes. Are you happy now? When are we ever going to learn something useful? Children used to complain, not anymore. We made a bloody class for everything. AP, how to approach college. Prerequisite, honours, how to approaching college. For the persistent complainers in the crowd, whining about how the majority of classes aren't even applicable to them, we'll shove these posters down their trachea, and then we'll tell you exactly why you're wrong, using our magical crystal balls, citing your exact location and date far into your future, when you'll be using each and every single concept taught today. An idea our lovely textbook writers are now drooling over, as if little Johnny will jump up with joy, yelling, "Hooray! My goodness gracious, I'm learning about matrix multiplication not just because today I can calculate the field of vision of a horse wearing blinkers, but once I get a job as a software engineer in 13 years. Turns out then I'll be needing that concept on the 4th of December at 5:15 sitting in my cubicle idle." How motivating. Because each period is only 5 minutes, you're stuck with each class for 3 years. This teaches commitment. But when it's actually time to register for those classes online, you won't just see a useless title and 2-sentence blurb about it. No. That gives far too much away. What's the fun in that? Instead, it'll be like a couple of text messages, so there's absolutely no chance to figure out what the hell you're signing up for and under which knobhead teacher's supervision. Honours Algebra 2. Super chill PEMDAS, lol. Honours Pre-Calculus. Same crap, more tears, XDDD. But the mighty list of prerequisites for taking each class will be as lengthy and detailed as a legal document. To take Honours Cooking 3, you need 84.4449% in Honours Cooking 2, in addition to a teacher's recommendation, a counsellor's recommendation, your parent recommendation, your doctor's recommendation, a serial killer's recommendation, the President of the United States' recommendation, a hunting license, a driving license, a number 2 pencil, and a 30-page persuasive essay arguing for your expertise in physically assaulting and violating all the peasants beneath you who couldn't meet these requirements. The more interesting and fun the class, that is, the more it delves into the real context and applications of things, the taller and crookeder its ladder of requisite courses and requirements will be to gatekeep the maximum number of people from taking it. But if you do happen to reach there somehow, congratulations, you are gifted and talented and enriched and advanced and accelerated, and just like all the other gifted and talented kids, you'll be gifted a limousine, a butler, a red carpet, and a 7-course gourmet meal whenever you please, at the push of a button. Place your order when there are many dirty, ungifted, talentless, decelerating twats all around you to flex your honour and maximize their jealousy. Wherever you step, everyone should smell the mighty presence of an AP Quantum Kidneys C student reeking through your clothes, and immediately steer clear of your royal path. Normal peasant lunch is at 6 a.m, dinner at 6:30. Both last only for 2 minutes, a perfect opportunity to skip them entirely and dash to your teachers to beg them for help in their classes as usual. Teachers aren't allowed meals. The first year of any class will consist of completing a 60-page packet on the class's logistics. The late policy, the cheating policy, the cell phone policy, the calculator policy, the internet policy, the group work policy, the attendance policy, the snacking policy, and the pissing policy. How should the kids silently signal to you for permission to use the loo? Sticking up their thumb or sticking out their tongue? As the teacher, these are the sorts of things you will be expected to devote your utmost attention and creativity towards. Have just one midterm and one final final, or 3 midterms, 1 written, 1 oral, 1 anal, and 1 optional final. Only mandatory if your class attendance grade times your birthday times your homework average, with the lowest 2 dropped times 82% or 48% or 56% of the number of times you participated every 2.5 minutes of class time graded on a curve, falls below the median of the sampling distribution of the sample kurtosis of the extra credit points earned per pop quiz. Blimey. In fact, new requirement. The logistics of learning must be so utterly convoluted and complex that when you enter the school restrooms, you shouldn't find kids vaping and crying over their physics formula sheets anymore. You should find them vaping and crying over the unsolvable equation for computing the semester grade. Furthermore, logistics alone should be enough to make up for 99% of conversations children ever have about learning and education. Now hold on, if Richard got 94 here and 75 here, how the bloody shit did he get into AP Cooking 8 and not me? He didn't even properly meet the requirements. Then their mums will talk amongst themselves. Oh, look at our boys, always chatting about school and learning. Look how noble and studious they are. Keep studying hard, boys. The precise schedules and timings written out to the T of all the classes should be equally complicated, as should the organization of students into endless hierarchies. Daily schedules will be deeply personalized and routinely refreshed by an artificial intelligence which optimizes for maximal chaos and confusion. Is it period 6D Purple Alpha M87A or 6D Purple Alpha M87B? You see, it's a Monday, which means it's an A day for purple periods, but only for you kids in grade 5R Unit Beta Division 3 Kingdom Bacteria Phylum Chordata Quark Charm Order Hufflepuff. G. Assignments for every class will have distinct due dates. Missing one doesn't result in an F for failure, it results in a K for killed. 3 Ks and it's even worse than being killed. Your full transcript is electronically distributed amongst your friends' parents to compare and contrast with their kids' transcripts. Your son got an E in Honours Cooking 3, it seems. Not bad. My son got a B. Mine is engaging with graduate-level cooking at university. Mine, only 7 years of age, a cooking manager at NASA, got married, had kids, grew old and died. Meanwhile, your measly daughter was killed in little AP cooking. Now, all this might seem harsh, but just imagine, after going through all this, how prepared they'll be one day to handle the rigorous and vigorous and treacherous and dangerous college-level courses. You might get away slacking over here, Lily, but not in the dreaded dungeons of college you won't. Now, of course, once you submit an assignment before the deadly due date, however, there's no telling when its grade will pop up online. Could be days, months, years. How about this? Like a social media slot machine, we'll send thousands of useless intermittent notifications here and there, just to keep everyone on edge. But only one of them will be the actual grade. Imagine how wonderfully addicted everyone will be to grades then. Especially for standardized tests. Imagine years and years of grinding and studying for these giant tests, and after millions and millions of false notifications, the result finally pops in. A single useless number from 1 to 5? No, we can do better than this. It's a picture of a duck. Now it's fully impossible to get any indication for your performance or how to improve. If there are too many complaints, just blame it on a technological issue and charge each person $50 to fix their account to the back end and $50 more if they want to actually see the fixed result in the front end. Technology, by the way, is something we'll hastily try incorporating in every little nook and cranny in education for no reason. I excel math, extra math, buzz math, boot math, tang math, delta math, photo math, cool math, math is fun, get the math, Desmos math, effortless math, first in math, prodigy math, Pearson, TI, Canvas, Quizlet, Gradescope. We love technology. We're so cool and hip. Yeah, math is so cool, bro. It's like surfing on the high tides, bro. Yo, math is so cool, yeah? After 10 correct answers, you get a rocket sticker in it. Forget teaching the actually fascinating history and context behind the maths concepts. No. Rocket stickers and guitars, baby. Why stop here? What else do kids enjoy? Princesses, sports. Maybe they'll start enjoying maths if you put it in there. Would you like math in a house? Would you like it in a mouse? Would you like it in a box? Would you like it with a fox? How about this? Each student will have artificially intelligent wristbands that detect when you're having the most fun, like when you're at your mate's party, and right when peak enjoyment levels are reached, 20 math problems will burst out in front of you, lasered from your wristband right into your retinas. All that's left now is marketing this educational genius to the Americans with some ever-changing pun or initialism. How about JSM, jump scare math? Add in a P at the end. for jump scare math program. And suddenly the American teachers understand.
Oh, so it's like a program, huh? So it'll have like modules and sub-modules and like...
Ah, but the real question is, how much have the Chinese test scores gone up using this technology? We'll decide where to take it from there. After the final bell rings and school is over for the day, the torture has only begun. All forms of learning and education beyond this point are strictly prohibited. Now is the time, you see, to get your hands dirty, to get involved, to do something extracurricular. It's time to take all that deep and sophisticated education you've gained at school and now put it to some practical use. Now's not the time to read and learn more about the aspects of science you're actually interested in, my dear boy. Which real-world problems would you like to solve now for the school science fair? If you can't think of anything, just do some bloody egg experiment and call it a day. But dear God, if we find you just taking care of your pet, or swimming, or knitting just for fun, or worse, reading a book without a questionnaire, or teaching yourself anything at all just for fun, instant death by annihilation. Those aren't valid extracurriculars. If you like knitting, why don't you join a knitting team to crush other blokes in a knitting race? Or start a knitting organisation or a knitting business, take a knitting test, star in a knitting show, sign up for some summer knitting courses, be a leader, volunteer your time, start something, participate in something, compete in something, anything. Leave no time for wasteful things like thinking before you act. Just fill in the time with some hardcore action. But on your college essay, convey through the use of profound Shakespearean metaphor and musical counterpoint what knitting means to your soul and to your divine spirit. Basically, whatever the student wishes to do or to care about, we must devise the most creative plans on how to interfere or to change it for better publicity. Why stop here? Here's a novel idea. Let's just cut all the nonsense and do what we all really want to be doing. Just put more school for the rest of the day, except with 7 minutes between each extracurricular activity, 2 more than the 5 curricular minutes. Real-world application takes more time, you know. As educators, we'll make it abundantly clear that in this world there are only 2 modes of living. 1, following some prescription of scheduled tasks, and 2, sitting idly, which is deplorable. If you're not following a set schedule, if you don't see immediate progress, if you cannot coherently describe in a 5-paragraph essay how every single step you walked today will help foster college and career readiness in your future, we'll make it clear that you've colossally wasted your time. There's no living in the present. There's no learning something for the joy of today. Everything must be useful and must be part of a perfectly staged domino chain of events, beginning tomorrow and ending the day you magically transform into the college and career-ready Marvel superhero, each domino falling with symphonic harmony and extreme theoretical accuracy. There will not only be zero awareness that there is such a thing as discovering genuine interests, hobbies, passions, or that learning is something that you do, not something that is done to you. Why not go all the way? We'll brutalize you with a cricket bat if we catch you doing such nonsense things. Because what do you know about what you want to do? You're just a smelly old kid. That's a question for 12 years later, once you've finished your basic education and we've destroyed all capacity of yours to do any such meaningful introspection. Till then, what will you eat? When will you sleep? What books will you read? At what pace will you read them? What experiments will you do and what results will you find? How shall you spend your spare time? Do you like fast addition or do you prefer slowly? How many years of foreign language will you regurgitate and then forget? Do you better learn with tests or projects or with discussion? You mustn't worry about such questions. The adults in the room will decide them for you. And when all is said and done, when our children's minds are robotically occupied running wild goose chases 24/7, switching and switching and switching between hundreds of different tasks, all in the name of education, when the adults have no interest, no passion, no personality, no curiosity, no courage to focus on anything for more than 5 minutes without being told what to do next, when society at large is busy politicizing every corner of education and mindlessly quacking away about which textbook or test or subject or curriculum or teaching method is the real problem in education this time, when the planet is thoroughly cooked, maybe one day we'll look back and say, it was those bloody short-form videos. Burned our attention spans to a crisp.
Like some more?